2020 is when the thought of the Black company was birthed, and it was because of George Floyd. We identified that men in our community didn't have a safe space that they could call their own.
So a lot of men will join for that mental health platform. We have the Boxing and Bourbon here, and just watching those men come in and they feel safe and vulnerable, that is just amazing. And I'm not a crier.
Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome to another Fired Up KC episode. I am your host, Zeke Wang Nangani. Hey, as you can see, I'm not even in my studio, and I love it when I'm not in my studio because I get to go around KC and explore. So today, I'm at Blakk CO, the only social club for men and women of color in Kansas City. I'm on Main Street, so you already know. I'm here with the co-founders, and we're gonna tap it up today. So, hey, help me make welcome the one and only Tamela Ross. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Good to have you. Thank you guys for having me here today. And I have Christina Williams. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Glad to be here with you.
I mean, I am glad to be here because this is a dope spot. Like the design of it, like you guys, I'm gonna show you guys everything here after this set, but this is a really dope spot you guys got going on here. Anyways, all that aside, we are here in Blakk CO, the only social club for men and women of color in Kansas City. Give us a bio about yourself, Tamela, and tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are today.
Okay, I am Dr. Tamela Ross.
Dr. Tamela, okay. I see. My bad. My apologies. Dr. Tamela Ross, tell us about you.
Yes, I am a therapist. Okay. I own the Healing Corner KC.
Wow, okay.
This is my best friend.
Okay, I see that. My best friend. Go ahead.
Okay, let me see. I'm the co-founder of the Blakk CO, now Goldie.
Yes.
As of May 1st, my birthday, I turned 41.
Hey, congrats.
Yes,
okay.
I am a mother. I'm a therapist. I'm also, I'm a loctician. I do a lot of things.
A lot of cool things.
She does.
All right, Christina, give us a bio about yourself and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, well, I would say how I got to where I am is definitely my children. They definitely motivate me. I'm a mother of 4, amazing children, 3 girls and a boy.
Wow, nice. Okay.
Definitely God, that's my backbone, my back support helps me continue to strive to become who I am. I'm a licensed hair loss practitioner. I own Posh Restoration Facilities, which is my own company. I'm a licensed cosmetologist for about 15 years. I have an emphasis where I place support for women in our community who are dealing with thinning hair and hair loss, as well as scalp conditions. And so, like Tamela said, she's my girlfriend. Besides doing hair, we founded the Blakk Company. We kicked this thing off November of 2020, socially, Black Friday. We started to do things virtually in terms of pop-ups around February of 2021. April of 2021, we secured the space that we're currently in now. And then we officially opened Blakk, which is the male version of our social club, June 4th of last year. So we're coming up on our anniversary.
Yes, coming up early. That's
so, we enjoy doing what we're doing. I think that at our hearts, we're always serving. So you'll usually find us doing work where we're serving other people, helping inspire and empower them to become the best versions of themselves.
Yeah, even before I ask you guys why you guys started Blakk CO, I want to share my experience because I think it was a few months ago where we had a whole, there was a TJ here, there was Izzy Redwood here. It was just a few I number, like the Black leaders in Kansas City that came together here just to hang out and chat. And that's one thing I've not seen in KC. And just being out of room, I was overwhelmed with joy just because I can see someone who's doing great things in Kansas City right next to me, just sitting with me eating some chicken, and I'm like, let's talk about it. How can we, benefit from each other? So it's like that was beautiful to see that. Not even moving into that. What is the why behind what you guys do? What is the need that you guys are providing? If you saw hey, this is not here, and we should step in.
To start with our why, I'll just say George Floyd. And when that situation occurred, of course, it had a global impact and effect, right? Well, here in Kansas City locally, Tamela and I just happened to be chilling out, talking about that and having a conversation because it was at the height of it. May of 2020 is when the thought of the Black company was birthed, and it was because of George Floyd. We identified that men in our community didn't have a safe space that they could call their own. where they can go and be around, like you just mentioned, that testimony, other great men in the community that are doing great things. When they need a spiritual upliftment or a positive reinforcement, where do they go? And not associated with per se like a nightclub. It didn't exist. Social clubs are not a new concept, new to Kansas City, especially for our community of color, which is why we do what we do here. But our why was George Floyd. That's what we always say. We just lead with that.
Yeah. Now, Tamela, I want to ask you this. Okay. As a therapist, because I am big, in therapy.
Oh, good.
What kind of people do you see? Do you ever see black men come through, or is it just women?
Actually, hey. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was a little cliche.
Yes.
I did not want to help men at all. Men can be kind of stubborn, and they're taught to kind of hide their feelings in. They don't want to release. And I was like, I'm not helping men. They're just too stubborn. So my first client was a male, a black.
Psych.
Yes.
Talk about purpose.
That's it.
And the joke was on me. Huh? So to see him today, it's amazing. He refers people to me, and that was over 3 years ago. He has grown. So just to watch him, he calls to check in, and I've had so many men since then. I actually prefer men.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Cool. I need to get me some therapy.
Yeah. Well, and I would say the most of men that we have are African American men. Now, when we set up the club, we were very intentional about saying men of color. We did not want to exclude different men from different nationalities because at large, while we may place an emphasis on African American men because that's a representation of who we are, at large, we do see that there's not a lot of men of color in general that have spaces where they can come together. So be it you're African American, you're Hispanic, you're Asian, you stand as a man of color.
And just to speak of which, just outside, you guys' logo, it just stands out. It's like the Blakk CO, and it's so the gold.
You like that gold?
It stands out. It shows that excellence.
Okay. That's what we were going for.
And it does work. Now, I want to ask this. Being that you are therapy with men, what are some things, just tell us maybe a story of maybe kind of like a challenge or a man you've been able to see that this is something that is, in terms of all the black men you've been able to talk to, is something that's similar in every one of them. They think that is an issue that they all go through and they never talk. Since you communicate with a lot of men who are going through stuff, what have you seen in your communications? Even if it's just being here in this environment.
I will tell you, because we're big on mental health. We have to be because I'm here. So a lot of men will join for that mental health platform. We have the Boxing and Bourbon here, and just watching those men come in and they feel safe and vulnerable, that is just amazing. And I'm not a crier. And sometimes I'll sit over there and I'll just watch them and I can almost break down because it's the vulnerability for me, and men are taught not to be vulnerable. So to see men talk about being molested and just everyday life challenges, relationship challenges, it's amazing because sometimes we can sit in here and a man will come in with a heavy heart. You can see it all over him, and they'll come in and just start talking, break down, crying, and we're just like, okay. They felt safe enough to walk through those doors. And people say, they'll walk in and say, I just feel safe. I feel comfortable.
This might be the last question, but I want to ask this. I want to ask you, Christina, first. What are some lessons you learned being an entrepreneur and being someone who is hard at work, hustling, get a business done? What are some lessons you say? There's something I learned from my process to where I am today that I want to give someone out there who's trying to make it happen.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to the slow down part, being okay with timing. I'm learning timing in this season of my life. Being young, being eager, being zestful. We hear people say all the time, you need to just be a better listener. You need to think about it. You need to take your time. But when you're young, you're just so fueled up and so fired up, right? That you're just moving and grooving. So I would say I've learned how to take my time and think things through. Even get the opinion of trustworthy people around me that can share insight. Also, I don't know. I love that I'm unapologetic about going after things that I believe in.
Yes.
And if I believe in it, I'm going to do it. So we are definitely accepting new members for membership at this time. If you want to learn more about our organization, you can visit us online at www.theblakk, and it's BLAKKCO.com. In addition, you can find us on social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter at The Blakk CO, which is THEBLAKKCO. And yeah, we're excited, Kansas City. We thank you all.